guys are playing with great energy and enthusiasm, even on the defensive end. Cornell wins a tip, immediately gets to the rack, and Nazir Williams with the bucket. This is a tempo that Ohio State probably hasn't seen much of this year.
This isn't a style that you're going to see in the Big Ten. I mean, it's going to be a combination of a Loyola Marymount and then the Princeton set in the half court. This team is going to press. They're going to get after you. It's a controlled aggression is what I like to call it when you watch this team play.
Ohio State solves the press on the first time down with a high percentage look.
Great job with your team's pressure and you attack the press. Good teams want to punish you for it. Great job by the Buckeyes in the first possession.
So the 6'11", Brian Akbara getting involved on the first possession, and on the second comes up with the block.
Great job there. I thought he was a little late.
The lob to Akbara, he's got a size advantage. And he wants another lob.
Look for the Buckeyes who really try to take advantage of their athleticism and size inside.
Three from the top of the game from Roddy Gale Jr. is no good. Cornell, 5th in the country in tempo on the offensive end. They average 15 seconds per possession. Beautiful back cut. There's that Princeton impact that you were talking about. And Isaiah Gray gets on the board.
It's so hard to guard when you're not accustomed to playing against it in your league. A lot of teams will try to schedule a non-conference opponent just to give their team something to reflect on when the season starts. This is just what you want. You're playing out of the high post, and his teammates are accustomed to having the big man inside blocking shots, but no, three-point shooter at the top has to guard that backdoor cut, late pass, what you want, cut hard, expect the pass late. This Cornell team is used to that.
So when Ohio State's got to set up in the half court, what can we expect from the Buckeyes?
Well, the Buckeyes, I expect, is just continue to play with their, getting the ball inside, taking advantage of their size and strength inside, but Cornell's going to pack it in. They're going to force them to knock down some shots on the perimeter.
And here's one from Gale, just 29% from deep. And Cornell looking to add to an early advantage. Transition three. This is a interesting blend, as you mentioned, the old Paul Westhead Loyola Marymount and the Pete Carrill. And there's a lob jam, second of the game for Ohio State. Jamison battles.
Great job. Ohio State is punishing the press. When Cornell doesn't create a turnover.
And another block for Ohio State. Gale got that one. Buckeyes running. And then Akbara with another bucket.
Akbara, great job. Running the 4-foot big man, cleaning up. Jamison Powell missed that finger roll there.
Gale with the foul, his first.
Talk about punishing pressure. Teams press you. You got to make them pay for it. Great job by Battle going up, up, and away. Finishing strong there.
Man, Cornell doesn't give us much chance to talk about their offense, but
and they won't.
Yeah, something happens in the first 5 to 10 seconds.
Don't blink.
Reverse off the mark. Here's Akbara again, and his shot gets rejected. Sean Hansen, he's 6'9". He's the post presence for Cornell. Thornton turns the corner, hammers it into the opposite corner. And knocked out of bounds. Quickly in the Cornell offense, here are the numbers. 40% of their shots come at the rim. 49% of their shots come from three. And then everything else in between, they really limit those two-point jumpers. A couple experimental rules here for the NIT. The lane has been widened to 16 feet. That'll take you to the NBA width. There's also a couple of changes in timing and timeouts. You don't really care about that, though. That's just so we can pay the bills. Rebound yanked down by Mahaffey, and Ohio State can reset.
Buckeyes doing a great job early of offensive rebounding. You know they got to pound this Cornell team on the glass, get extra attempts. They got to knock down shots, and this guy can do it.
Battle left it short. Ohio State 0 for 4 from deep to start this game. Dunk from behind for a three, and that's good by Cooper Nord.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you have not seen Cornell play, it's one of the more unique styles you'll see in the country. They're fun to watch, entertaining style of play. If you're not used to it, it can create trouble.
We're talking with Jake Diebler at Shoot Around today, and he kind of laughed. Yeah, there's not much time to get ready for this squad. You'd love to have 4 days. Instead, you got to hurry, and Nord's knocked down a couple.
when you get in a situation like this, you don't have enough time to prepare. This reminds you of a tournament weekend because you only got one day in between to prepare, kind of like an NCAA tournament round. And this style creates so much trouble. This isn't something that they've seen in the Big Ten.
6-0 Cornell run. Beautiful back cut, and the layup is good, and the Cornellians executing. Here are the rankings for Brian Earl's team, and it feels like, you tell me, that they've sped Ohio State up on the Buckeyes' offensive end.
They do, because you look at the pace on offense, it's the same pace on the defensive end of the floor. So now when you hear they're speeding them up, Ohio State's done a great job of getting shots from the rim. They've even rebounded well. They got all 8 offensive possessions over, but just like that, they can't finish. They got 8 offense. That's the 9th offensive rebound here in the first 5 minutes of the game.
And this is an Ohio State team that has now missed its last 9 attempts.
You're sped up. They're going to force you to knock down jump shots. If you're not making them, you got to get back. And you're taught to defend the rim inside out, the paint. But against this team, you got to stop and defend the three-point line.
Bounced it inside, stolen away by Isaiah Gray. Gray fans out to behind the arc, just as you were saying. They end up with a wide open 3. And then Gray commits a foul.
Lucky possession there for, again, it's so hard to change your habits. Akpor is so accustomed to guarding the rim, and then he runs inside. But you're playing Cornell. Both of their 5s are stretch 5s. They're stopping at the top of the key for the three-point line. He's a shot blocker. He's used to running in and protecting the paint. He cannot do that tonight. He's got to stop and literally play like a point guard to stop the ball.
Akpara out. Zed Key enters in the post for Ohio State for the first time. A Buckeyes team that's averaging 75 points a game. Shooting 35% from 3. They've really turned it up from the floor over the last couple of weeks of the season. The turnaround, though, is short, and that is 10 consecutive misses for the Buckeyes. A foul on the floor after.
I don't think I've ever seen a game where there's 10 offensive rebounds and we're not even through the first 5 minutes of the game.
Yeah, not a good sign. That means you missed at least 10 shots.
They just can't finish in their rebounding. I think that's one of the reasons why you see them go to the bench.
10 offensive rebounds, 2 second chance points for the Buckeyes. Off the curl. 15-footer buried by Jamison Battle. 21 points in the finale in the Big Ten tournament against Illinois.
His size, he's such a difficult matchup to, when he's curling those pin down and those wide pin down screens, he just curls right into his mid-range shot.
That's probably as obvious a difference in the two offenses that we'll see tonight.
Yes.
Mid-range jumper on the Ohio State side and nothing like that on the Cornell side.
Cornell's going to attack the rim. They're going to shoot threes and try to get to the rim. I mean, they won't settle for mid-range, but they put so much pressure on you to guard the entire floor.
A.K. Okereke hands it off. Ragland stuck with it. Shot clock's at 5. Here's Okereke, guarded by Thornton. Shot clock's at 2. Got to throw it up. He did not recognize. And an empty possession.
That's what you want to see out of the Buckeyes. They're starting to wake up on the defensive end of the floor. That time defended the backdoor cut, blew up the ball screen handoff.
So not only does Cornell typically get a shot up early, as I said, 5th in the country time of possession on the offensive end, but 354th on the defensive end. They only have to play defense about 19 seconds per possession on average.
I can't imagine they've had too many shot clock violations as quickly as they shoot.
It can't be. Here's a quick release from the corner and buried by Jake Fegan.
Buckeyes are on their heels a little bit here. And it's also the pressure. They're picking you up, just speeding you up a little bit. Quick shots. You got to get, when you get in the half court now you got to take advantage of your size, run your offense.
Bonner, that's a long 2, I thought, and the rebound is poked free, and will be a charge foul on Devin Roy.
Just coming off there. Great job staying in front of the basketball here. But if you don't match up, you're late. You're not accustomed to everybody guarding. You got to guard 5 guys on the three-point line there. Thornton a little late getting out.
So how do you help your team as a staff coming into a contest like this? A, you don't have much time. You just got home late a couple of nights ago. Then you have a press conference for the new coach and finally get on the court.
You got to just stick to your principles. You basically tell you guys this is what they do, and you try to say, hey, you can't defend all, you don't know all the plays. You just say, hey, guys, let's just play hard, let's play physical. These are the things we're looking for. Let's just do what we do and get better. They're making adjustments because they've adjusted to what Coach Diebler has just been trying to get them to do, and that's been an improvement on the defensive end of the floor.
Ohio State is a man down going into this game. Should be mentioned, Scotty Middleton, the freshman guard from Miami, is not with the team at the moment. He went back to South Florida to deal with some family issues. They expect to have him back shortly, and they hope with a win tonight and the season continuing to the weekend that he would be present for the next game. First on Sean Hansen.
Just keep chipping away if you're Ohio State. You're not shooting the basketball well, you know that. Keep pounding the glass the way you're doing. Buy yourself some time, eventually shots will start falling.
So here's Roddy Gale Jr., sophomore from Niagara Falls, New York. Came on towards the tail end of last season getting some playing time, and one of the reasons playing on is important for Jake Diebler. NCAA Women's Championship First Four begins tomorrow night. First and second rounds over the course of the weekend through Monday, and the Final Four April 5th through the 7th on ESPN. The championship on Sunday, April 7th at 3 Eastern on ABC. Gale makes one of two. Cornell gets it off quickly, and it's empty. One of the concerns for Brian Earl, he said, we go so fast that there are times when we have empty possessions, we can dig ourselves a big hole. 50% shooting to start. Nobody stops ball, and taken to the rack by Nazir Williams.
Officials there checking on Zed Key. Running to the sideline. Great job there, taking advantage of the situation, pushing the break there. Nazir Williams, you got to stop the ball, but the guys were back in transition, ran out to the three-point shooters. No one stopped the basketball. He took advantage of it. This is what happened. He came down. I think he rolled his ankle, elevating for that layup.
So Key being looked at by the athletic training staff on the Ohio State sideline. Buckeyes just won for their last 14. Bonner has it taken away. Okereke with the steal. In transition, they try to get it inside. You, even as an analyst and a former coach and player, contradicting yourself a little bit, saying you can't just run back to the basket. You got to be wary of the three-point line in transition. Yet when they do it, they're going to burn you with the other way.
Yes, you have to pick your poison. And you can build your team inside out, but know everyone, you want to defend the three-point line. You can come back with them controlling and making layups, but you can't give up layups and threes. You got to take something away.
Lord's got 2 threes and a layup, and Cornell's got a double-digit lead. Largest lead of the game for Big Red. And the Buckeyes with an answer from Roddy Gale Jr.
One thing you love about Roddy Gale is that he doesn't lack confidence at all. He's going to shoot it, and if he misses it or makes it, he's going to shoot it again.
We got a contact issue, I believe. Either a shot to the face for Okereke or he lost it too. California, he was recruitable, but Cornell didn't have spot for him. They said, yeah, you can be the team manager. We don't even have enough lockers to take care of you and take you on. So he joined the team as a manager. Well, a couple months later, they said, here's your uniform. You can help us. I need some help from the dentist. 3 off the mark from Sean Hansen.
Well, I'm sure they know a dentist there that can help him with his tooth there. They do have it. The price of winning, my friend.
Yes, yeah, I guess so. Slow start for the Buckeyes, 5 for 24 shooting, just 21%. And a rare layup. This one comes from Roddy Gale, but they're now just 3 for 9 at the rim.
Buckeyes got to continue to attack the paint. There's no shot blockers here. But what they really got to do is defend better. They got to guard the ball, get out to these shooters, just play with more energy on the defensive end of the floor.
Hansen gets a touch all alone.
They're carving them up, and it's just because you're not accustomed to doing this. Akbar is saying, man, I'm used to guarding guys that shoot layups and rim run, not backdoor cut and shoot threes.
Here's Okpara going to work inside.
Yes.
Beautiful little baby hook. So on the defensive end for Okpara, does he have to come out and guard 15 to 18 feet from the hoop?
You have to, because for one, they're stretch fives. He's accustomed to playing drop-balls, but what it does is right now he can't block shots. And see, he can't get out there for that shot if he chases the ball.
That's what he gave up, and Hansen, a 38% three-point shooter, has been red hot lately. Okpara underneath and got a whistle second on Sean Hansen.
This is the key to it now. He's accustomed to being out. Hansen lays it up, and then Okpara says, you know what? I'm tired of just playing defense. I can give me the ball to the post. Let me go to work. Nice baby hook there.
Cornell led this game by 10. Ohio State trying to get it back from the free throw line. Felix Okpara 64% from the free throw line on the year. A wave of subs coming in for Cornell, including Jake Fegan, the newest stretch five. He's already drilled a three.
Just got that streak out of the way. He misses both free throws there.
Cornell has outscored Ohio State in the paint 12-8. Nord cut off. No longer possessions for Cornell so far tonight. Guy Ragland throws it in.
I've said it again, he's got to get out there. You know, both of those guys are three-point shooters. And I think what it's going to do is going to force Ohio State to play small. If he's not the offensive option on the other end where he can just get it inside and take advantage. So if he can't defend on the perimeter, Buckeyes going to have to play small where they can switch and be more versatile on the defensive end. They have big physical guards.
Here he is inside, and he gets it to roll home as they tried to front him. Felix Okpara's got 8.
Great job there. You got to use your size and athleticism there. But he got away with a travel.
Threes wide left, rebounded by Jamison Battle.
Ohio State wants to play quick. I don't know if they want to play as quick as Cornell.
It is a breakneck pace.
It's going to force the Buckeyes getting to their bench, and you got to get out.
Loose ball knocked out of bounds. It's a Cornell team which puts up 29.6 threes a game. That is 6th most in the country.
They just force you to guard out. He's not used to that. He's thinking, Coach, I am out here. That's big man defense. When you're playing on the perimeter, you got to play like a guard. If you're not close enough to touch him, you're not guarding him. And he's finding himself next to Coach right now. Coach is going to explain to him, like, man, I know we hadn't had a time to review this, but I'm trying to tell you, you got to get out there and guard there, guys. Zach Edey doesn't beat you from the three-point line. I can tell you that.
That's
He's
right.
not used to that.
It must be really frustrating, too, right? For
it is.
The Ohio State bigs. Here's Battle.
But this is what you see when you see upset city in the NCAA tournament.
Yep.
Anytime. It's just a stat. Oh, hello.
Beautiful spin move and slam. And Zed Key raising the roof, the senior from Bay Shore, New York. Ohio State has made it a 4-point game, and just like that, a back cut blown. Jacob Beckles had a chance to extend it.
They do such a great job setting you up. You want to get aggressive and blow up the dribble handoff. They backdoor cut you. It's always a late pass, bounce pass. Now, I think Zed Key can control this game, his ability to score in the post as he forces a double team. Go back to him.
Shot clock at 7. Dale Bonner lost the dribble. And Cornell's able to take it away. Eventually get a jump ball, and the arrow will keep it this direction. Over this team the week of Valentine's Day, and immediately, for whatever reason, this team improved. And Randolph, they're not known as a defensive team, but the defensive metrics jumped through the roof.
They did. That's why this team took off and finished the regular season 6-1. I mean, this team just night and day, just hit the switch with it under his leadership, and just a credit to him. That just tells you everything about Deeps.
Bruce Thornton throws in a 3, and Ohio State has now made 5 of its last 6 after a 5-for-24 start. Another missed layup from Beckles and a missed opportunity. And Buckeyes on a 7-0 run, looking for the lead.
Cornell, you got to take advantage of the opportunities when you get to the rim. But you didn't get a big enough lead. You're starting to let the Buckeyes hang around. Whoa. You can't do that with this guy.
Thornton hits his second triple. He has now made 8 of his last 13, and the Buckeyes have their second lead of the game. We're just talking about the defensive improvement for this Ohio State team. Diebler telling us today we got more aggressive on the defensive end. We've been aggressive offensively, but playing loose and free and aggressive and taking more chances, and those are incredible improvements.
That's a massive jump, and that's the biggest difference in winning and losing in any conference. But I don't think people understand that doesn't happen in the course of the season. You don't lose your head coach and in that quick a time you turn around and make that type of improvement.
Ragland for a triple. Ross Bjork, the new director of athletics here at Ohio State, sitting courtside earlier. Thornton looking for his third, and I had a chance to talk to him about the decision to stick with Diebler. And he said, listen, this was a hire that resonated within the state and resonated with the former players. There's another three, this one from Okereke. Of course, his brother John was a fantastic shooter here back in the day, playing for Dad Mata, Aaron Kraft, among others, at the press conference yesterday.
I just think it's just a groundbreaking story, and credit to him for making it a hire. I mean, a lot of guys would wait to hire someone in the NCAA tournament darling or someone, a popular choice. And I mean, this hire is unprecedented in that situation, I believe, at this level.
Yeah, just the 15th head coach in Ohio State history. Diebler previously was an assistant for Bryce Drew at Vandy and also an assistant coach at Valparaiso, where he played. But making the move in mid-February both worked for Ohio State and giving Jake Diebler a chance to earn the job, and maybe, truthfully, worked against getting some of those other coaches that are coaching their team in the NCAA tournament right now.
Either way, credit to him. These hires are always about timing, and it's definitely his time now.
Nazir Williams with a rare two-point jumper. Cornell clinging to a 4-point lead. Big Red with a couple of threes on his 6-0 run. Thornton has hit a couple of big threes. He's going to switch everything, huh? Mahaffey, no. And the rebound falls into the hands of Guy Ragland Jr.
The Buckeyes penetrate, look to spray it outside. Cornell's going to have 5 guys inside. They know they're at a disadvantage on the glass. Put it on the floor, expect help. Here, they're at the Buckeyes with a smaller lineup now, so they, with the size of their guards, they can switch 5.
Good ball movement still, and it's a 3 for Williams, his first. Cornell now on a 9-0 run. Answers Ohio State's 10-0 run.
Now what happens when you get into this group on the offensive end of the floor, you have a group of guys who try to go small and not used to playing together.
So just launch it. Devin Royal makes only his 3rd 3 of the season.
That's the good thing about having freshmen, too. They don't know any better. They just go out and play.
They don't know, maybe they don't care.
Yeah, that's true. They're like, look, if I make this shot, it's going to keep me in the game. That's what you think as a freshman.
Thornton is on an absolute tear. This guy has made 9 of his last 14, coming off of his first career double-double in that game against Illinois. He went for 20 points and 10 assists. Cornell clinging to a 1-0 lead. Back and forth we go.
But sometimes players just come in and say, hey, we don't want to play. You can't force them to play. And even in this tournament, Deeps told us, he said, hey, my guys wanted to play. The other thing is sometimes the coaches, you know, they don't feel like there's an advantage. Like, hey, you take a game like this, you have a team like Cornell come in and beat you. It's already, you know, disappointing because your team isn't in the tournament. You add more pressure on yourself. And some coaches feel like, hey, if we're in the NIT, we got to get ready in the portal. That's already started. So there's a ton of different reasons why people choose not to play in this. And whatever those reasons are, that's their decision to make. And whether we agree with it or not, it's just the reality and the facts of what we're dealing with.
Just second person on Devin Royal talking with Cornell head coach Brian Earl. He said, our season ended. We didn't know if we were going to get an invite. We left the gym at Columbia after losing in the Ivy semis. I saw the parents on the way out, said, hey, there's a rumor we might get to the NIT. And I just don't know. And so having a lot of guys that were from New York City or in that area, they just went home. They went home for a day, and he said he was sitting on the couch watching a movie with his wife Sunday night, and his wife said, maybe we should flip over to the selection show. Yeah. And as soon as he did, he saw that they were in, and they went, oh boy, now what?
Great job by the committee, Tim Duncan and everyone involved. This is a great field. I think maybe the best field in the NIT, and a lot of good teams missing out on this great basketball.
Devin Royal inside on the layup. Cornell coming back, trying to work quickly. By the way, the rules changed this year in terms of accessibility. The Power 6 conferences were each guaranteed 2 spots and 2 host spots at that. It's the first on Dale Bonner. And no longer were regular season conference champions guaranteed a spot in the field. So it's a new iteration of the NIT.
I think sometimes the adjustment, well, you know, with the lane widening is weak side defenders. And what you're accustomed to when the lane is shrunk, and you really got to be committed to your fundamentals when you're playing, when you're not accustomed to being out. Look at the shot fake there.
Oh, and it's swallowed out by Akpara. Cornell gamble, Battle finds an extra pass, and the 3's off the mark. Akpara had his hands on another, and Thornton stays in to pick up the rebound. Here's Battle, banged it home.
You heard it often. Best time to get an open 3 is off an offensive rebound, and that's one thing Ohio State has done well today with their 12th offensive rebound, able to take advantage of it and knock down a 3.
3 left short. El Correque, here come the Buckeyes. Transition triple from Battle. Back to back. Buckeyes have their largest lead of the night thanks to an 8-0 run. And a foul after the gamble going against Ohio State.
Yeah, an open 3 is like a layup for him. You've got to run him off the line. And
Ohio State's Gale may have gotten a piece of that jumper. And a Cornell foul on the other side. NCAA Men's Basketball Championship First 4 continues tomorrow on True TV with coverage beginning at 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific. For more information on tournament game times and networks, go to ncaa.com.
Ohio State's been able to flip this game. What's happened is they've gone to the small lineup, and they've been able to switch, and they bring in Akpara, you know, sparingly. But now their ability to switch, sometimes as a point guard, you can be guarded by Akpara, and then he rim runs, and now your matchups are thrown off. And it allows a shooter like Jamison to get loose on the other end, because you're not switching five.
Whoa, that was an aggressive take, and they get Akpara for the push. It's a first on Felix Akpara.
Not a better personality in this building than Isaiah Gray. Tries to drive baseline. The guard from Brooklyn, as he says, stand up, drives and draws the foul. Just a great story, I think, with him. Something from alopecia. Acknowledge it and accept that with his team. His team celebrated and shaved their head with him. And just an unbelievable personality and fun guy to talk to, as we did earlier today at shoot-around.
Gray has started all 28 games last year, regular in the lineup this season out of Martin Luther King in Brooklyn. Just 68% at the line for the year. Drains them both. So we're on pace for a game that would fit Cornell's scoring average.
Yes.
Top 20 in the country, 82 a game. Feel like Ohio State has adjusted to the tempo?
This smaller lineup, they're going to have to keep fresh bodies in.
They're getting some looks, aren't they?
Well, they got to continue to do it. They missed so many layups earlier, but they're, like we said, there's no shot blocking. So just attack the rim off the bounce if you're a guard. If you throw it inside to one of the bigs, but on the perimeter, it's a great job there by Roddy Gale Jr. And that's a big-time attempt to finish there. Body in the guards as he drives and then elevation. Showing you that Tom Hart vertical there.
Interesting. Didn't ask for that. Another one coming for Gale. Jake Diebler was talking to us about deciding to play in the NIT. He said, we were transparent with our guys. We got together. We talked about the opportunity in front of us, and they said, Coach, we want to get on the floor. We want to ball. When you look at how Ohio State finished last year, giving a lot of time to the youngsters in back-to-back top 10 recruiting classes. It's an opportunity to continue to develop for a group that you expect, and I know that's silly sometimes in the transfer portal era, but expect to stick around. That's an offensive foul charged to Guy Ragland Jr.
Great job there, bailing out the big man. We talked about Cornell bigs being able to shoot the three. Ragland shot fakes. Great job being there. It is so difficult to get an offensive foul in today's game. You got to be there before that front leg plants. And great job by Thornton sacrificing his body. Such a powerful big point guard, 6'2", 215. I don't know how the football team is looking, but Ryan, they could use a safety or a strong safety or a linebacker.
He's a thick dude. The finish from Roddy Gale Jr. is into double figures. Thornton was a four-star recruit coming out of Milton High School outside of Atlanta, and the Georgia Gatorade Player of the Year.
And I would imagine the talent that this Buckeyes team have. This is still a relatively young team. Four sophomores in the starting lineup, and you get a coach like that.
Run to take control of this game.
They've shown why. Started out a little flat, a little cold on the defensive end of the floor. They have turned it up. Really aggressive on the ball and extending their defensive and their pressure.
Okereke guarded by Mahaffey. Trying to find some space with a push-off. Took it himself. And the dump-off is off the mark. Kiachin with his first attempt. Transition three at the end of the half. Way off. Maybe a hair early. But the Buckeyes.
Early, I think, adjusting to what this is going on. You're talking about a guy that's used to playing against Omori and Zach Edey and the big men in this league. And then he's playing against a different style of guarding ball screens and having to get up. Great play coming out of the half there and slipping the screen to get the guard inside.
It's a second on Roddy Gale. He's a third different Buckeye with 2 fouls next to his name here, less than 10 seconds into the second half. Nazir Williams, second team All-Ivy, 2-time All-Conference performer the last 2 years. 80% from the line on the season. Did you take it around the world as he does before his free throws? Just do a little circle around your waist?
Nah, it was pretty simple. I'm trying to think which NBA guy used to do that. Circling around like that. World Be Free was one. I'm trying to think of someone else even more modern than that. Everyone has a weird thing they do before the free throw. Mine was put my right toe on the nail. There's a nail in the center of the court always telling you where they line up. I would always do that to center myself and square myself. And took 3 dribbles, kept my eyes on the rim and let it go.
Here's Bonner with the drive. None of that sounds weird, though. That seems very standard, but routine-oriented.
Yes. The only thing I did with tinker with it with overtime was I'd move my left foot back maybe 6 inches or so when I started overthinking.
I bet you tinker more with your golf swing than you ever did at the free throw.
I don't even get me started. I'm still tinkering.
Never end. Cornell went 8 of 20 from deep in the first half. They had 1 shot clock violation, which is a rarity. There's a beautiful back cut and the finish by Isaiah Gray. I was talking with Brian Earl today. Of course, he played in this Princeton-style system. You see all the back cuts. First, Pete Carrill, Bill Carmody was his head coach at Princeton, but that same system. He said, we got so good at it that sometimes we knew 2 or 3 passes ahead of time who was going to get open.
The scariest thing to guard is Princeton and a bunch of veteran guys who know the system and have been in it. It's just, you're so taught to get into it. You're thinking, right now, they're thinking, hey, we're going to come together. They're communicating on a switch, and then you get burnt back door. He saw Thornton on top of him, so it's an automatic read. They see the body language and how they're being defended. You got to come together and almost touch each other. We call it talk, touch, and take before you switch. If you don't do that, get back to order, you get cut across your face, which ends up being a basket more time than not.
Here's a kick to the corner for Bonner, and another three for Ohio State. This is how they got back in the game. Thornton hitting three of them, and now Bonner chips in.
They're just giving up so much length and size inside. All five guys have to be in the paint, so those threes will be there.
Here comes Ohio State and Dale Bonner. Fifth-year senior gives it up, and Ohio State turns it over.
See the paint there to drive. You see four Cornell defenders there. 2-on-1 on the backside. No one rotates to Bonner for the corner three. He's just playing a horse sitting over there. Got to get out there and guard him.
Buckeyes shooting 42% from deep. Keller Boothby moves it for Cornell. Boys from Ithaca open up a 10-point lead early. It's another beautiful cut by Isaiah Gray, the senior from Brooklyn.
That's the second backdoor cut. Thornton's giving up. He's got to do a better job of forcing him to his help.
Battles, Roddy Gale Jr. throws it in. He's got a dozen.
He is looking to score. Every time he touches, you got to know.
An Ohio State steal off the air and pass. Bonner with the layup.
What a spark Bonner's been. A great three-point shooter.
Obviously, if Ohio State can get live ball turnovers, it's one thing, but in relation and respect to early shots in the shot clock, does Jake Diebler want his team playing at an up-tempo pace tonight?
I think he wants this team to be quicker. He wants them to get out. He said to us today, part of the adjustment that he's made, we lamented the defensive end of the floor. On the offensive end, he wants these guys to play, look to score a little bit earlier, and just play out of their set. They're not as set-oriented, coming down, running a bunch of plays. It's like, hey, just go out and play. You get this look, attack. It's more about spacing and teaching you guys how to play in a situation instead of scripting everything. I'm telling you, this is the type of stuff you'd want to play for. I mean, you see with Roddy Gale, he's turning you loose, he's letting you play. He's not making it so strict about plays and sets.
It was a third personal on Gale, who's got two in the first 3 minutes of this half. And a save by Isaiah Gray. 7 seconds remaining on for the Ancient Eight, second consecutive tournament team, and leads the team in scoring. But you saw the long list of guys whose eligibility at Cornell expires, but overall eligibility does it. And so, interesting conversation with Brian Earl at shoot-around today. He said, well, we're just transparent with our guys. So keep me posted. Who's looking at you? What do they want? And where do you think you could end up? Because everybody knew what the setup was before the season even started. It's not new for the Ivy League.
No.
But there are other programs in college basketball that have to kind of adopt this realistic way of thinking. Will Wade was just quoted this week like, yeah, I've got guys at McNeese that are contacted by SEC schools, and I say, go for it.
Right.
Go get the money. Go expand your opportunity.
It's less of a headache for everyone, and you just keep it out in front. You communicate with your players. You let them know you're trying to help them. They'll be more transparent with you and giving you information. So everybody's on board. Everything's out in front. All the information's on the table. There's just no surprises.
Isaiah Gray with the mid-range jumper. It's, as we have discussed, it's an interesting style for Cornell that makes him stand out, but it's not the type of style or skill set that wouldn't work at other places. I mean, whether it's St. Mary's or Alabama, teams out there, and that one will roll home for Akpara, that rely on threes and rim twos.
Right.
That make it a part of their attack every day. Some of these players would be a great fit. Akpara with the block. He went cherry picking, and they end up with a 5-on-4, and the layup goes for Akpara.
Akpara blocked the shot. He thought the fast break was starting. He had no idea. Look back by where's the ball?
Why has nobody passed it to me? Battle with the lob. Got it back. Off the mark, rebound Gray. Here's a push ahead. Beckles lost his footing. Gray with the ball fake. And he's able to finish.
I'm serious. They play at a pace where it's hard for us to call a game. It's literally like before you can finish a sentence, it's going up, man. I mean, it's fun to watch. And
is it too simple for me to assume that having the skill set to play this style is a fit at some of those other schools where maybe not necessarily jumping to a top 10 program, but just stylistically there's a transition that could take place?
Absolutely. I think it's a combination of things that we talked about. If anyone, like I said, you don't know the late hate gathers and Bo Kimball played at Loyola Marymount back in the day, look them up. They play at this pace. They're pressuring you. They're trying to turn you over, speed you up on the offensive end of the floor. And you take quick shots sometimes, it's like turning you over. So they don't get a lot of steals. But Ohio State was sped up to start this game. It took them a while to slow down and adjust to this. And then when they get in a half-court step, they're lifting you with their big. They're playing the Princeton style. And when you're in a league, you're not accustomed to doing that. And I think the Buckeyes' improved defensive ability is why they're in this game and why they're leading this game. If they had defended this the way they were early in the year with those numbers, this game could have gotten away from them.
Prior to February 14th, 118th in the country in effective field goal percentage and 94th in defensive efficiency, according to Bart Torvik. Here's a kick out for Beckles. Final tip isn't there. Cornell hanging in, but down 2. Thornton shot out of a cannon. And a point-blank miss, and then a strip.
Carr's got to finish that. Because on this end of the floor, he's out of his element guarding the three-point line. So he has to finish at the rim, and when he misses those bunnies, one thing you cannot do is miss the bunny and then come back and don't match up, and your man knocked down a 3. It's a 5-point swing there.
11-3 run for Cornell to reclaim the lead. That's a high percentage look. Devin Royal throws it down.
Before you can catch your breath, the ball's back up. Trying to get to your set matchups.
There's a back cut and the finish. It is back and forth like a pinball game.
At a three-point line and 9 threes here. And I think if they can get north of 15, big chance for them to pull off the upset. It's impressive for both teams to come out willing to play and willing to play at this pace. It's a fun pace, but you feel like this is the way Cornell forces you to play with their style. Buckeyes got to continue to pound them inside.
Battle looks inside, able to get it to Key. Split the defenders, and then a foul charge of Jacob Beckles.
Continue to get the ball inside. They've got to collapse. They've got to help. You pounded them on the glass. Continue to pile up the fouls.
So Devin Royal, freshman from Pickerington Central at the free throw line. He was Ohio Mr. Basketball, starting a trend set by Jimmy Jackson in 1988. He was the first. Tied at 57. NCAA Women's Championship. The first 4 begins tomorrow night. Sweet 16 is March 29th. The Final Four is on ESPN on April 5th and 7th. And then the championship game, 3 o'clock Eastern on ABC on Sunday, April 7th. Another shot for Devin Royal. Royals have been in the news. I don't know if you've been looking. Have you found Kate Middleton yet?
No.
Okay. Keep looking.
My computer's right here. Got to do a better job, too, of denying that mid-post if you can. But this lineup out there now, they can switch 5. This could be a really disruptive group on the defensive end of the floor for the Buckeyes.
Shot clock's at 4. Fall away 2 from A.K. Okereke.
Okereke with a great job of getting to the mid-range, turning and pivoting and shooting one of the few mid-range shots that the Big Red attempt.
Jamison battle. And the rebound smacked out of bounds off of Nord. Good save by the Buckeyes.
Great job there. Just keep fighting. Great effort there by the freshman. Plays bigger than he is. When you look at him on film, you think he's 6'10", 6'11". Listed as 6'6".
They get Gale to post up. He kicks it out. Here's your guy Royal, short. And then a foul charge to Roddy Gale Jr. That is his 4th.
Yeah, he's going to have to come out with that 4th foul.
Gale picks up his 2nd and 3rd in a span of less than 3 minutes to start the second half. Tyson Chapman replaces him. This is the 9th matchup all time between Ohio State and Cornell. The most recent was 1969 in Cleveland. That was a Buckeye win. And Hansen right down the pipe gives Cornell a 3-point lead.
It's a challenge. You're not accustomed to playing with this lineup in the Big Ten. And now you're switching. And your guards not accustomed to being backdoored by an opposing team's center. But the threat of shooting the 3-ball, you got to get out there.
High percentage look for Zed Key with the jam.
Yeah, I think Zed Key can have his way. On the offensive end of the floor inside, either getting it and scoring it in the post. And you don't want to switch a guard on him because he's so effective inside.
And a foul on the little curl. Tyson Chapman commits his first. 11-12 to play, and Cornell with the lead. The last win for Cornell against a Big Ten opponent was a major one. That was in the 2010 NCAA tournament. Its 2nd round upset over Wisconsin. Beat John Lure, Jordan Taylor in that squad.
You know, you play teams like this pace, man. You're not accustomed to playing at this pace. You feel like you got asthma or something. Your chest feel like it's going to explode. It's hard to breathe, and you get to this point in the game, it's just constant movement because you got to guard everybody all over the floor. There's no resting on the weak side.
A balance shot, no good. Okereke ended up with a photog. It's 5-on-4 for the Buckeyes for a minute. Right inside. Here's Royal for 3. Rebounded by Battle, another offensive rebound, the 17th of the game for Ohio State. Make it 18 now, then it's thrown into the backcourt. They say it was tipped. Cornell beside itself. The entire bench thought that was backcourt violation.
Yeah, the official said it was tipped.
And then thrown out of bounds. Cornell the 1-point lead.
Result for your team. He's like, wait a minute, my guy got grabbed. But coach, you got, you know, Coach Deebs, you benefited from that one, buddy, because didn't get the backdoor call on the previous earlier possession.
By the way, for Ohio State, number 1 in white, Roddy Gale Jr. is back on the floor playing with 4 fouls. One of the reasons is Bruce Thornton left the game dealing with cramps and had to get stretched out during that last timeout. Shot clock at 6. Hansen, no. And it's knocked out of bounds by Cornell.
First time you've seen Hansen try to back down, but he doesn't have Akpara, and he's going to say, you know what, freshman, see if you can bang in the post, and that time the freshman did his job.
We haven't seen much of the full court pressure in the second half from Cornell. They introduce it here. And the Buckeyes saw it. Gale dumps it down to Key. And he stepped on the inline.
Hansen with a great job of being physical right there, holding his ground, bodies up. I think it's the right call. You know, the crowd doesn't like it.
What about the stress and pressure that Ohio State may start feeling in the last 9 minutes in a 1-possession game with an Ivy League opponent? Oh, missed opportunity for Gray.
Well, you want to continue to build off what you've done, but that pressure's normal when you're playing a game and you're at home anyway. You want to take care of your home no matter who the opponent is. And again, these are 2 20-win teams, and this is is a good Cornell team.
Followed good by Devin Royal.
Continue to get the ball in the paint. Doesn't matter who it is, attack the glass.
Whoa! What a hammer by Isaiah Gray! Message delivered by the senior from Brooklyn.
Brooklyn, stand up, Isaiah Gray.
Remember, he missed a layup on the previous possession as he lost it out of bounds. We have had 12 lead changes in this contest, and Cornell leading late. Gray has not made a three yet. He dumps it inside. And a point-blank layup missed by Guy Ragland. It will stay with Cornell.
Great job here. I said Gray reversing, ejecting the screen and just dropping it on Parr's head. He's timed a few on the glass. Not that one.
From the corner, that's off the mark. Gray gets it back. And he gets fouled. Gray is not backing down. It's the third on Devin Royal. He already nearly broke the slam cam with that jam a moment ago.
It's a physical guard. Doesn't matter who's guarding him. He's a powerfully built guard. Built just like Bruce Thornton. And with Bruce Thornton on the bench cramping. And that's what we talked about, the pace of this game.
Gray's perfect from the floor in the second half. One of the few who hadn't even attempted a three. Tomorrow night's ESPN NBA doubleheader features the top teams in the Eastern Conference squaring up at 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central. Jason Tatum and the Celtics host Giannis and the Bucks, and the Grizzlies take on Steph and the Warriors. Our coverage tips with NBA Countdown at 7 o'clock.
Those are two great matchups there.
Another paint touch for Roddy Gale Jr. Wide open for three. Offensive board, Ragland. 15 for Ragland, 9 in the second half. Full court pressure for Cornell.
When they score, it allows them to set their defense. Not a ton of offensive rebounds, but with the switching that's going on with Ohio State, you got to make sure you match up in transition. They didn't, gave up the open three. Got caught in the cross matchup, and Cornell hurt him with the offensive glass.
What a game so far for Big Red of Cornell. Shot clock of 5. Here's Gale Jr. Boom! And an answer from the sophomore from Niagara Falls, who's got 17 to lead all scorers.
He has the ultimate green light. Every time he has the ball in his hands, he's got to be thinking he's looking to score. You cannot relax on him.
Rebound, Gale. Push ahead, Bonner. And inside, Felix Akpar with a chance for a three-point play.
Akpar's had his moment.
Do you have a guess?
You gonna tell me?
Well, I wanted to see if you had a guess.
I think everyone knows the answer to that one. If I got that one wrong, I should be fired.
They would show you the door.
Yeah, I'm gonna take my headset off if I get that one wrong. Only the most polarizing person in college athletics.
Cornell down by 3. Ohio State hasn't lost to a to an Ivy League program since 1994, and a loss at Penn. Here's Battle. 17-footer short. Offensive rebound, another chance. Gale Jr. on the glass, and he gets fouled on the rebound. It'll be the second on Jake Fegan.
It's been a Buckeyes' best offense here. Just get it up on the glass and go get it.
Pardon me, that was the third on Ragland, not Fegan.
Just get into your offense, get a good shot, and you miss it.
Do that.
Yeah, just attack the rim. There's no resistance there. There's nobody on Big Red Ross is going to go up above the rim and challenge that one.
No three on the other end, and it's ripped down by Mahaffey.
Got to give help. You know he's looking to attack.
They'll pass it inside, and it's taken away by Big Red. Buckeyes on a 7-0 run. 3-ball. Good! Jake Fegan with his second three.
Fegan doesn't get a lot of minutes, but with Chris Manning out, had to go a little deeper in the bench, and he's knocked down a couple of threes. Stepping up for the Big Red.
Battle has it knocked away, regained it, and it gets fouled on the drive.
Great job curling here. You know it's coming in film, but you got to watch out for Akbar going up and away, finishing there, and you get back, you don't match up in transition. Fegan makes you pay for it, and it's just challenging for this Ohio State Buckeye defense. Practice all year, get back, protect the paint, build our defense out, and you get in the game when you don't have a lot of prep time, and it's completely the opposite. You got to stop and guard at the three-point line no matter who it is. It may not be your matchup, but you got to stop the ball.
Three from the top of the key, and Ohio State getting in on the fun.
Hold up there, just a great shot by Harden. Hadn't had much time.
His first shot of the game.
Yeah, just getting in, and that looked great coming out from the time he left his hand.
And then a blocking foul charge to Bonner, his third.
Just a great job there by Hartman getting in, and freshman hadn't played a ton. It's a good call there. I know the fans doesn't like it, but
back cut off the baseline, out of bounds. Cooper Nord gets his first bucket of this half.
That was difficult, but you got to try to, when you're overplaying, let your arm, use your extension of your arm, force the pass out further. When you get your body out there, it's automatic rule they're going to backdoor you.
Battle got a half step before he was fouled by Fegan. Foul trouble compiling for Cornell, including Guy Ragland with 4 and Fegan with his second. Gray's got 3 as well.
Don't feel bad, Big Red. Not many people can stop that wide pin down with Battle coming off of it. If you trail, he curls it. If he tries to cut it, he pops and shoots the 3. At 6'7" as a wing, as big as he is and physical. Got to mix up your defensive coverages when you're guarding a player like this.
He has made 70 of his last 73 free throw attempts. 96% on the season for Battle, and another one coming to try to extend this OSU lead.
He's doing a really good job too of playing off his nose. He's a great shooter. You jinxed him.
Yep.
Announcers jinx, 96%. Now he's probably going to drop to like 94, 93.
Feel bad.
Yeah, he shouldn't shoot anymore. He sucks at the free throw line.
Back cut, well defended. They still can't get it. Gray kicks it out. Quick release. Wow, what a shot by Jake Fegan.
Wow.
He was not a clean catch. He was barely set. He still got it in.
He shot it before he caught it. I mean, I didn't think he was going to make it. He just gathered it at the last minute and got it off.
Next set ball will send us to a timeout. Cornell has taken this thing to the under 4. Here's Battle. Trying to find some space, a push-off or two, then a lean in, and it's rebounded by Fegan. Jake Fegan, freshman from Wilmette, Illinois, has hit 2 big threes this half. Going to work on the freshman on the other side.
Watch the back door against the freshman Hardman here.
Timeout taken.
And you don't get it. You got to just find a body and match up. And they're getting caught in some cross matchups, and you just got to assume that everyone knocks down threes, and you got to be disciplined on these backdoor cuts.
Ohio State lost. Last loss to an Ivy team when they dropped the game to Fran Dunphy's Penn Quakers in 1994. Isaiah Gray gets a layup and then a whistle after the bucket. And Gray's emotion getting the better of him.
Yeah, a little too much of Brooklyn there. Just came out as emotional. Great catch and go. Driving, probably thought he got fouled, yelled and one.
It'll put Jamison Battle at the free throw line, and on top of that, it's the fourth on Isaiah Gray. This has been a point of emphasis for officiating crews all season when it comes to sportsmanship. If you want to yell into the stands or yell at your team, you can get away with it. If you go face to face with another guy, and Gray, after his dunk earlier in the game, did something very similar. I wonder if he got warned after the dunk.
Yeah, they let a lot go when you dunk it, but I guess they felt as though it a power layup. You got to be quiet and play. They must have heard what he said. You know, it wasn't as.
You think he spoke Brooklynese and that was enough? Now you guys can't leave. We're tied at 76. Cornell trying to lock the door on Ohio State. Coming to their place and find a win.
Where do you go now? Roddy Gay's been your offensive guy. Has been lighting it up, but get it to the glass like this. And that's been their best offense. Doesn't matter who takes a shot. Just go get it.
It's a third on Nazir Williams. Ohio State in the bonus. Felix Akpara going to the free throw line. There are at least 17 teams that opted not to participate in the NIT. I know it can be a complex issue and every situation is different, but this contest has been a lot of fun. Whether or not Brian Earl and Jake Diebler are having a blast is a different story.
But I'll tell you this, I would rather we have this and let the teams that want to be here, because you get this type of game, as opposed to a team that doesn't want to be here, comes out, lays an egg, and we're sitting here looking at a 30-point game with no effort, no energy. No one wants to see that. You can find teams that want to play. This is a great 17 teams opted out, and we still have the best field that we've had in the NIT. So credit to the teams that's been here. This Cornell team bust, what, 9 hours, 8 hours to get here?
Yeah, it was 8 on paper, probably a little bit longer than that after a couple of stops. Oh, the pass goes off the rim and out of bounds. Sean Hansen, who's playing with 6 stitches after he caught an elbow in the Ivy semifinal against Yale.
Did a great job there posting up. Roddy Gale wants the front. He walks him up the line, and Fegan is like, man, I had that. I knocked down a couple of threes already.
Guy Ragland Jr. back on the floor for Cornell. He's playing with 4 personal fouls. What a win this would be for Big Red. Ithaca's gorgeous, we know that, but it could be a party if they can pull this one off and get ready for a second round game either Saturday or Sunday.
It'll make that bus ride a lot smoother.
Here's Battle downhill into the paint. Got it. Smooth lefty. He's got 14.
Got to change your coverages. You can't continue to chase him. Every now and then you got to cut the screen. You got to do something different. He's just too big. And him coming off that tight curl with that left hand is money.
Gray trying to make up for the technical, and a timeout taken by Brian Earl. 79-76, 2:08 to play in this first round game. It is snug late.
1968. I'm old. I'm not that old. And you're not too far behind me either, so don't you start with me.
It's all good. 12 on the shot clock for Cornell. Looking for the back cut, well defended. 8 seconds left in the shot clock now, and it feels like Jake Diebler and his staff have a good feel for what Cornell's drawing up in the timeouts.
They're switching 5, so you just got to stick to your principles and your defensive concepts and just try to stay between your man and the basket and contest anything on the outside.
Here's Williams launching the 3. Got it! And we are tied at 79 with under the play.
We talked about Nazir Williams in the opening. He's a 3-level scorer. Averaged 11 on the year, but 14 points a game in the Ivy League. His conference play started. He elevated his game. Really physical guard, athletic. Shows you why he's an all-conference Ivy League performer.
Buckeyes using a lot of clock in this possession. Gale Jr. got free, blew the bunny. Cornell looking for the lead with 1:20 to play.
Whoever loses this game is really going to point to the fact that they've missed a ton of layups at the rim. Both teams have struggled with that, and they're going to have to switch this ball screen.
Downhill, big time layup by Isaiah Gray. He's got 19 with a minute to play. Cornell leads by 2. Timeout taken. Wait, hold up. It was an inadvertent whistle. Jake Diebler was talking to his guy bringing the ball up the floor, and Tim Comer thought he was asking for a timeout. Randolph, what impact does Ohio State being forced to take that timeout have on Jake Diebler and his team?
Well, he gets to settle his guys to remind him to make some adjustments about probably going to remind him to box out and rebound. When the shot goes up, they get crushed on the glass. Great defense here by Williams on the ball.
Gale couldn't pivot his way free. Shot clock's at 11. Battle for 3. Got it! Ohio State back in front. 17 for Battle. 17 lead changes, loose ball, and Cornell wanted a timeout. We get a jump ball, and it goes to the Buckeyes with 33 seconds left.
Tough break for the Big Red. Tried to call a timeout here. Big time shot in the corner. Battle stepping up, knocking it down, putting his team up 1, and just getting a stop here. I thought Williams was trying to call a timeout. You see the timeout being called. You can hear him screaming it. Officials didn't give it to him. Possession now favoring the home team, and now you got to get it in here.
It is perfect chaos tonight in Columbus. Push ahead, nobody back, and a finish by Devin Royal makes the lead 3 with 30 seconds to play. Cornell has already made 12 threes in this game. Would have been better running some clock. And a timeout taken by Brian Earl. He was emphatic about the timeout call. He feels they missed it the last trip down.
Yeah, he made sure they saw him that time when he was calling it.
So with 22 seconds left of the season for this home team, should Cornell win,
yes,
they will never forget going into Columbus and getting this victory.
Buckeyes keep building, keep learning how to win, and they're going to switch 5 here, so let's see.
More than a second difference from game and shot clock. Gray's got, oh, he blew the bunny. He's had a career night with a career high 19.
He set the fade screen and tried to set a flare screen in the corner for a 3. Buckeyes switching 5. It wasn't there. As expected, he pops out there and tries to drive, and he's going to regret that, thinking I should have laid that with the left hand. He's had a great night.
He's only missed 2 shots all night, 8 of 10. That's his first miss in the second half. And he's led Cornell with 19. The senior from Brooklyn with a missed opportunity. Now Cornell's going to have to get lucky. All right, here's the most useless stat of the night. Cornell leads the country in free throw percentage defense. Their opponents are only making 65% of their freebies.
Yeah, but right now they
zero credit for that. Yeah,
it doesn't matter now. If the Buckeyes just make 1 of these 2 free throws, it won't be a whole lot to talk about free throw defense.
2 coming for Bonner. Playing with the NBA width lane in the NIT with experimental rules. And Bonner may have just sealed it.
Yeah. 2-possession game now, 13 seconds.
We know Cornell can get it off quick.
Yeah, see if you can get it up the floor in about 5 seconds. Don't have to have a 3. One of your late clock execute plays. Got to go quick. You don't need a 3.
Here's Nazir Williams. Williams gets all the way, circles back out. Now he takes the layup. Williams has 14.
Needed to go a little quicker there, just trying to get a 5-second count. Second time in a row, didn't match up.
And we'll get a whistle with 3.6 remaining, and that will send Evan Mahaffey to the free throw line.
Had some confusion in their full court defense before. Previous, it was the other freshman. Fegan didn't guard the back defender. They threw it over the top. It's a great job by Ohio State as well. They're showing you Coach Deebs, and they're not panicking. They're looking and making you guard the whole floor, throwing it over top. It's the second time they've done it. And
it'll be academic now.
Yeah.
Moments will get you to Virginia Tech, Richmond. Virginia Tech head coach Mike Young, when asked about the NIT, said, absolutely, sign me up. And they're going back to play in the postseason against the Spiders. 3.5 seconds away from that one. What an effort by the Big Red of Cornell.
It's always disappointing when your season ends, but it wasn't for a lack of effort. You just lost to a bigger, more athletic team. Pounding them inside, but a great effort nonetheless.
88-83 the final score. Ohio State will be back on the floor this weekend.